What do we
It
have? We have
Mm-mm.
Kristen Bennett. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's up, Ethan, Amanda, Zach, Valerie, Brandon, Abby?
All right.
Not really.
Hey, everyone. Let's see.
Oh, let me do this real quick.
I have us live on Facebook. We're just gonna get ready another minute or two to join us. Then we'll jump right in.
This
I'm
is
gonna move Facebook to my other screen so I can keep up with the chat.
I think I figured that out. 13, 12.
And I'm pretty sure Mendez is talking to himself and not y'all.
I am.
So just 1 minute, everyone. We'll just get ready another minute and see if anybody else is joining us, and then we'll jump in.
How's everyone doing today? While they're getting set up. I see you doing good, Zach. I'm doing great as well. I'm happy to be here. I was just telling Magali that this does not feel like 4 weeks doing this, even though we got cut off short 1 week. It does not feel like 4 weeks doing this. I hope that means I enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let me get our recording started and then we can jump right in. 1 moment.
Ooh, y'all, I'm a little nervous.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I don't know where everybody is, but I am in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and it's not just a rainy day. It is a rainy day. Okay. So trying to keep my spirits up despite the rain. I don't know if you received the Hustle newsletter, but I made sure to speak to the rain and said that my definition of sunshine is pizza. So find whatever your definition of sunshine is today, no matter if you're in rain or not, so that you can find your little bit of positivity throughout the day. And hopefully marketing outside the box is one of those moments of positivity, and that's why you joined us. I see a few new names, so I will jump in with a quick introduction of who I am and the organization. And what I encourage you to do is use our chat function in the Zoom, and then also use the comment function on Facebook to tell us who you are, introduce yourself. If you have a business, put it down. If you have social media, drop it in there. We'd love to stay in contact with you in those ways. But I am Magali Ascent. I serve as the executive director of an organization by the name of Hustle Winston-Salem. We are a nonprofit in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. In this program, Marketing Outside the Box, we do every single week. And I'll quickly tell you the way it's set up, since I do see, like I said, a few new names. We have a topic for the month, and each week throughout the month, we tackle a little bit more into that topic. So by the end of the month, you do have a kind of a well-rounded understanding of the topic. We also try to do it where each week you learn something that you can automatically apply to your business as well. So that each week, whether you miss week 1 or miss week 3 or whatever the case may be, you can watch the video or something afterwards and follow up with the presentation and still be able to apply it. Let's see. So yeah, so this is week 4 of this topic, TikTok for Business. And it's everything you should know if you already are using TikTok and you're not using it for your business, or you never used TikTok a day in your life. We have an amazing presenter. I couldn't think of anyone better than a Gen Zer to present this topic, and Mendez is with us and he's been doing an amazing job. And will continue to do so. So I think I'll stop there. I say this every single week. Please read through our email. There's a long list of resources in there for you that I just do not have the time during these sessions to run through. So definitely read through them. And if you see something in the email that you need more information about, you can always reply to it. It'll probably go to Tasha and she'll let me know if there's a question she can't answer, but we will get you answered any question that you have. And if you don't get our emails because this is your first time with us, you will start to get them next week. We add you to our email list immediately. So you can feel free to unsubscribe if I bother you too much. And with that said, Mendez, I'm going to hand it over to you. I think you have
Right.
screen sharing capabilities, so you should be good.
I do. Thank you, Magali. So as you said, my name is Mendez Douthit, and I am this month's presenter for Marketing Outside the Box. We are learning about TikTok. I'm giving you tips on how to use TikTok as a tool for your business. What I do in my business is I help creatives leverage their creative talent on social media. And I've helped grow a lot of individuals' social media to the hundreds of thousands. So I'm here to give you my personal experience so that you don't go through all the mistakes that I did and that you can experience growth way quicker than I did. A few things about me and like my style of teaching first. Hold on, I'm gonna change this really quick, this view. A few things about my style of teaching is I really like to interact and engage with you all. I really feed off of your energy and I get really excited talking about this. So I would love to hear from everyone at least once today, whether that be in the chat box, whether that be just through turning your mic on and asking a question, giving feedback. I'd love to hear from you all. Second is, I've mentioned this in all the last sessions. I get really excited talking about this type of stuff. So I may start talking really fast. If there's something that I speed over or if you need more clarification on it, please feel free. Like I want you to raise your hand or turn your mic on and say, hey, I need you to go back and look at that because I need to hear more about that. And I will gladly do so. I'll let you know if we don't have enough time. And yeah, I believe, I expect respect throughout the whole presentation. I respect you all. I want you all to respect each other. We're here to learn about TikTok. I'm here to give you information and we're also here to have a good time. All right. I'm not too formal. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions before I go ahead and jump into it? All right. I think the rain has got you all down today. But all right. I'm going to do my share sound thingy. Can everyone see my screen? It says, Magali, really quick, it's saying that I have to update Zoom. I will be like right back in less than 30 seconds, all right, for me to share my screen.
Okay, but we can see your screen, but you
You can see my screen?
We can,
Yeah.
but if
Okay,
it's telling you to update Zoom, by all means, leave and come back. That takes all of 2 minutes, if that's what you want to do.
Oh, y'all can see it. We good. We rolling.
Okay.
Let me pull this back up. I like to see you all, so I'm fixing this view. All right, again. So here we are, as we have TikTok tips. Also, if you all see me looking off to the side, I'm looking to my screen, all right? And I'm not ignoring you all. So for those who are new, this is your first time. In the first two sessions, right now we're at TikTok content creation and planning. In the first session, I really broke down what TikTok is, how it got to where it's at, and why it's important for you if you are a business owner, if you are a personal brand, or if you are just somebody using TikTok. In the next session, we started getting into setting up your TikTok. And like I'm here to walk you through that process so that if you have any questions at all, you use that time to ask me those questions. That is going to relay over to this week's session because we had a lot of questions, we had a lot of engagement and a lot of feedback. And I want to make sure that you all are getting all the information that you need. So we're going to spend about 15 to 20 minutes on that today. So I do want you all to have your devices out, all right? If you all are going to be a part of that. And then we are going to use the rest of the session to talk about TikTok content creation and planning. A lot of us small business owners and just busy people may not think that we have the time nor the bandwidth to handle TikTok, even though we know the immense growth that it can bring us. I assure you, I don't think that's the case for most people. It does take time, as with anything great. It's going to take time for you to grow and really make it worth its while, but it's not going to take as much time as you think it is. And I'm going to show you exactly how you plan for that in this session. Next week, we'll be talking about like creating the content a little, the side of creating the content, and then the analytical side of TikTok. TikTok has a great analytics feature. It allows you to really learn data about who's watching your videos, who's engaging in it. And you can use that to one, grow your TikTok, and two, also grow your business as well in real life. And you all have got the chat, right? Magali, y'all have got the chat, right? I don't need to be.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we got you. I thought you was talking to the audience. We'll let you know if a question comes up.
Okay. So recap of the last session, we talked about the different types of TikTok accounts there are. I don't want to spend too much time on it today because I have a lot of information for you, but there are two main different types of TikTok accounts. There is a TikTok personal account, and then there is a TikTok Pro account. And under the TikTok Pro account, you have two different types of accounts. You have the TikTok Pro account creator version, and then you have the TikTok Pro account business version. I cannot stress this enough. I recommend and emphasize that you all just use the regular personal account. The regular personal account is the status that your account has when you first sign up for the platform. You all are able to see immense growth from that. I've seen businesses scale their business to 6 figures a year in less than a year with the regular personal account. I've seen creatives really get a lot of brand awareness just from having a personal account. A personal account is the way to go. When you go to a pro account, you get a lot of restrictions. There's a lot of rules you have to follow. And TikTok sees you as sort of a different entity. And it just provides a little more headache than what we're normally used to on social media. And so, as I said, I walked you all through setting up the first steps of setting up your TikTok account, which is creating your username, what you need to put in your bio, what you need to put as your profile picture, what your account should be. And then we're about to go through the settings so that you all know exactly what settings you need to turn on or off to optimize for your account specifically. And so I'm about to get right up into that. But before I get into the last part of setting up the TikTok account, today we're going to be talking about the different video categories, your place on TikTok, and how you need to use and listen to your audience and what you'll need to get started. You're going to see me emphasize this throughout the entire video. You have to listen to your audience on TikTok. It's not I may want to listen to them. I don't want to listen to this part of what they're saying. If you do not listen to your audience on TikTok, please take my word for it. You will not see growth. I've seen with multiple clients where the audience is saying one thing and we're like, that doesn't really fit with what we're doing. And we try to continue going against their grain. It's not going to work. And I can't stress that enough. So for those of you all who are here for the rest of the live setup portion of this session, do you all have your devices ready?
And you're just picking up where we left off, Mendez?
Correct.
So can I just make a quick comment to those that wasn't with us last week? And if we're picking up right where we left off. So just kind of bear with us if you are a little lost. If you have a question, please ask him. But do know that the videos are available publicly and we will send them all to you in an email by the end of this week. So you'll have that either way, okay? I just wanted to share that to some of the new folks, Mendez.
You're good. Thank you for that. So I'm about to join on my iPad. Give me about 20 seconds so that you all aren't hearing screeching feedback. And yeah, we'll get going.
Yeah, and while he's making that technical adjustment to walk us through that, I also want to share that, Mendez mentioned a few minutes ago in his presentation that he encourages that you use a personal account. I want to stress again, for those that haven't been with us, he's saying that for your business. So the different types of account that TikTok offers, he still suggests that you use a personal account for your small business. Now, if you're a major corporation and you're in here, that's a different conversation that we need to have. But just as a small business, he's suggesting that you use the personal account feature versus the business account feature. It's more beneficial to you, and he explains all of that in previous sessions. All right, Mendez.
All right. Can you all hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay. I did that with no feedback this week. I'm proud of myself, y'all. That was smooth. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be doing this on my iPad. If things look a little more stretched out, that's why. But the experience is the same on the iPad and the phones. The reason I'm doing this on my iPad is because this is the experience that most people will be getting. Most people access TikTok through their mobile device. So I want to make sure what I'm seeing and showing you is what you're going to see on your end. And if you decide to watch this back, you can follow along as well. All right, so we're going to start this broadcast. Screen, start broadcast. Bam. All right, you all can see my screen, right? All right, I see head. All right, so that's great. So again, last session, we went over how to create this username that you see at the very top. I created one called Mendez D123, my first name, my last initial, 123. I put my pronouns up there. In my bio, I put that this is just the marketing outside the box TikTok demonstration. Also, side note, if you all see me looking down, I'm looking at my iPad, all right? And so that's pretty much where we got to. If you click on these 3 lines up here right at the top, in the top right-hand corner, you are going to see creator tools and settings and privacy. I want you all to go to settings and privacy. Again, there's a lot to go through here. This is all up to your personal discretion. I will let you know what I do recommend that you do and what I do not recommend that you do based on your situation, all right? But overall, this is all up to your discretion. So first session, we went over the management of your account. So you can add a phone number and you can add your phone number and your email to your TikTok account. Now, let me state, you do not need both for your TikTok account, but keep in mind that you can only have either one phone number and or one email per TikTok account. Okay, so this TikTok account is linked to one of my Outlook emails. I cannot use that Outlook email to create another TikTok account because it's registered to this one. Please keep that in mind. Also, I've not connected a phone number, but I could. But that phone number that I would connect to this account is now registered to this account, meaning that I cannot go create a new account and use that same phone number. Please keep that in mind. With password, you can change your password at any time. And I don't think there's any restrictions on your password. Here, you can also switch to a business account. Again, I cannot stress this enough again, highly recommend that you do not do this. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it. It's a big headache. Don't go for it. Trust me on this, y'all. And then you can also delete your account if for whatever reason you're on TikTok and you're like, I just want to delete my social presence. You can go through that process and they're going to try to guilt trip you into saying, well, why do you want to leave? And have you answer all these questions. And once you get through that, then your account will be deleted. And then your email and your phone number will also be released from this account. So that's all for that section. I'm coming back out and I'm now going into the second section, which is privacy. Now, under the privacy section, we have at the top of our list, we have private account. And so I have one comment that says, should we have the other social media accounts? I'm gonna get right to that, Kim, but we also discussed that last week too, but I'm gonna go over it before I finish this demo, all right? But yes, it says with a private, you can toggle on private account, you can toggle it on or off. Now, Magley made a great point last week in which if you all are still getting set up and you aren't ready for the world to see your TikTok account, by all means, put your account on private. What that means is people who do not follow you will not see your TikTok account. Only those that follow you will be able to see your TikTok account. But I mean, if you don't care, I will leave this off. And also, when you are beginning to go into your growth stage, remember that you must come in and turn this feature off, because if not, you will not see any growth. You will not see any growth at all, because TikTok is not putting your videos out to people who don't follow you. So I'm going to switch back to a public account just in case I decide to post some TikTok videos up here. The next item we have is suggest your account to others. If I click on here, as you can see, I have all of these options toggled, but what TikTok will do is it can suggest your account to people who are in your contacts list. It can suggest your account to, if you connect your Facebook account, it can suggest your account to your Facebook friends. It can suggest your account to people who are mutual connections. The mutual connections works the same way that Facebook's mutual connections does. And also, if somebody sends your video link to somebody, it can prompt them to follow your account after they've watched your video. I recommend you turn all these on because all it's going to do is increase your reach. But you can, again, turn these off to your discretion as well.
Mendez, can I ask a quick question about when you showed about the deleting the accounts function?
Yeah.
Does TikTok have the same function like I would say Facebook, where instead of delete, like, you know, you could deactivate and everything, if you reactivate within a certain amount of time, everything is still there when you come back?
I think there is a grace period, but I think the grace period is very small. I believe it's 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
But as of right now, there's no dedicated feature just to deactivation of your account.
Okay, thank you.
But as we know, social media changes. By the time that this presentation goes up on the air, that may have changed. But just keep that in mind as of right now. So we're gonna come back into privacy. So yeah, we just came out of suggest your account to others. And then right under that item, we have sync contacts and Facebook friends. Again, I have this turned off right now just because I don't want to connect my Facebook account or my contacts to this account. But as soon as I do that, it's going to look through all of my contacts. And as I was telling you, when you register a phone number to TikTok, TikTok is going to see what phone numbers in your contacts are registered to other TikTok accounts and suggest that. They'll do the same thing with Facebook. If you're cool with that, I say go for it. If not, just leave these off. So the next thing we have personalization and data. So right here we have ads personalization. So I'm sure we're all aware that with all social media ads, what they do is they track everything that you're doing on your phone to try to give you the best ads. Now, if you don't know the process of that, what happens is your phone or your computer is tracking your Google searches, it's tracking what time you're getting up, what time you're going to sleep, and it's working with advertisers to give you the best ads. If you want that to happen for your account, toggle this on. If you don't, do not toggle this on. Now, I want to make it clear that this is for you to view the ads. This is not for you to push out the ads. That's an entirely different process. This is only for the ads that you want to see, because you will see a few ads here and there on TikTok. And also, you can download your data from TikTok. What that means is literally everything that you have ever done on TikTok, you can request a download of that. It can be, depending on how long you've been on TikTok, that can be a humongous file. Or, I mean, since I've only been on this account for 1 week, it can be very small, but it'll take your profile data, your activity. What I mean by your activity is it will put a link to every video that you've watched, every comment that you've ever made, every comment that you ever liked. If you've ever clicked on any links from TikTok, it will take you there. It will take all of your likes and take all of your favorites, and it will compile it all into one big zipped file. And it will take all your app settings as well. So for whatever reason, if you want to do that for your brand or business, that data can be very useful. And so next, we're coming to the safety section, all right? And the safety section is really more like really getting into privacy. With TikTok, you can download anyone's videos unless they toggle this downloads section off. And what I did right here was under safety, clicked on downloads. And as you can see, I have this button toggled off. That means that no one that views my videos will be able to download these videos unless I send it to them personally. Also, keep in mind that when people are downloading your videos, your account tag is embedded across the video and it moves around. So nobody will be able to cover up the your account name on your video. Like people will know that this video came from your account, for those who may be worried about copyright and things like that. When we come to comments, there's a lot of sections in comments. You can determine who's commenting on your videos. You can toggle it to everyone. I have that toggled on now, or you can do just friends. Your friends are those who follow you and you follow them back. You can also engage comment filters. What that means is you can hide certain keywords, you can hide certain offensive words, you can restrict certain comments from certain people. And that happens within these three toggles right here. You can go to filter all comments, which means that after you toggle that, all the people will be able to comment, but those comments will be hidden. I have filter and spam offensive comments on. That means people won't be able to say, based off of TikTok's algorithm, derogatory things or offensive things or swear words, all that good stuff. And then I can go in, and if I turn on filter keywords, it's going to give me a prompt to add certain keywords. So if I don't want people to comment sunshine under my videos, I'm going to type in sunshine and click done. Now, nobody will be able to comment sunshine under anything that has the word sunshine under my videos. Now this works if you are getting spammed by bots, if you are getting trolled, or if you happen to get into some type of scandal and you don't want to be a part of it. This is a great way to, clean up the mess a little bit, or stay above the fray. And then you can also come to comment management and review these filtered comments. So they're not going to appear in your profile. They're going to appear in this screen. And you can go through manually and say, hey, I don't think this comment is that bad. I'm going to leave it in there. Or you can say, I don't like these comments. I'm going to just leave them where they at. So after we come out of comments, I really hope you all see how in-depth this is and how many features TikTok gives you to make this specific to your account. Because as I was going through the last night, I was like, this is a lot of information. But so next we have mentions and tags. So what a mention or a tag is, it's very similar to if somebody @s you on Instagram or Facebook. It's when somebody puts the @ symbol and then your account name. And then you get a notification saying this person tagged you and this or that. So you can choose who you want to tag you. You can choose everyone. You can choose people you follow or only friends. So people that follow you and you also follow them. Or you can choose no one. That, again, that's up to your discretion. Do with that as you please. You can also say who can mention you and So the difference between a tag is only on a video. So if I make a video and I want to tag Hustle, I would embed that into the video, and that happens as we go into the content creation process. The @ or the mentions is when I like put the @ symbol in a comment section and then put somebody's username. And I think you just asked that question too, Natalie, right? Or were you clarifying?
No, I was just doing a visual in the chat for them for what you were saying.
Okay.
Tag, did I do tag wrong? That's @ mention and tag, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So then you can determine who can do both of these for you. You can again do everyone, people you follow, friends, or no one. And also you have inbox message preferences. So you can receive like a DM saying that from TikTok saying that this person messaged you or tagged you. Do you want to reply, to make that process any easier in case you're getting a lot of traffic in? So with one of my clients, she gets like a whole lot of traffic in. So she has this turned on, I believe, so that she's not missing anything important from anyone. Because your @ and mentions can get lost within your notifications if you're getting a lot of traffic in. So the next part, we have the following list. You can determine who can see who is following you and not. There's only 2 options here. You can do everyone, or you can do only me. Me personally, I leave this on, but if you are really specific about who's following you and you don't want to have their information out in the world, you can do only me and nobody will be able to see who is following you. Now, a duet. A duet on TikTok is when somebody makes a video with your video right beside it. And so you all are able, this is really popular within the dancing community, or if people are just reacting to a video, you can decide who can duet your videos. Right now I have this toggle to only me because I don't have any content up, but I can change this to anyone on the internet that can duet my videos, or I can do this to only friends. Now, we're coming to Stitch. So if duet,
you said, oh, go ahead. You're gonna keep talking about it. Go ahead. Never mind.
Yeah. So duet is if the video is right beside the video that I'm making the entire time. So I'm making the new video, the old video would be right here, right beside us on the screen. A stitch would be if the old video is going to play first, or a snippet of the old video is going to play first, and then my video is going to come in right after. It's literally like you're stitching a new video on top of an old video, wherever you want it to go. And you can determine who can stitch your videos as well. So you can do, again, everyone, friends, or only me. Magli, I believe you had a question though.
I think now I just want to say, will you show us examples of those this week or next week? You don't
Definitely.
have to do it right now in the middle of this part, but.
Definitely next week. I have it planned out for next week.
Okay.
So yes, under Stitch videos, we have liked videos. You can determine who can see what you're liking. I have this to only me, just because it can get really messy if you are liking political things, if you're liking things that are going on in current events, especially as a small business owner or a brand. People may make assumptions about you based off of what you're liking. So I would recommend turning your liked videos to only you, but again, that's up to your discretion. Now we come to direct messages. We're almost at the bottom of this list, y'all. You can determine who can send you DMs or direct messages. I have this only to friends, but you can also change this to no one. So you can choose to not receive any DMs at all. But right now, there are only 2 options for this. So unless you go to a pro account, only your friends, so people that follow you and you follow them back, or no one at all can send you messages. Your account is not set up to have just an influx of people DMing you like Facebook has, like Instagram has, like Twitter has. And then if you're blocking people, you can see what accounts you blocked, and you can manage those blocked accounts in this section. And that is all under privacy. TikTok gives you a lot of tools to really help you make your account what you need it to be. And I suggest you take advantage of all of these. So yeah, so we're coming back out to the main screen. We're coming to right here, you're going to see balance. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, just because it's for those who are getting paid directly from TikTok. And to get paid directly from TikTok, you need a pro account. Hustle sent out in the newsletter last week the pros and the cons of becoming a TikTok pro creator account. So you can see all of that in that session, because that's a lot of information, y'all. But this is where you would see, if you have that account, this is where you could see your balance and manage your money from there. in QR code, if I click on this, TikTok is going to give me a default QR code that I can save, that I can text to somebody else, and that I can share through these other social media platforms. And somebody can scan that with their phone, and like it'll take them directly to my account. Now, if you need to put your TikTok account on a flyer, if you need to put it on a presentation, if you need to put it on a billboard per se, or just any large materials, and you need to drive people to this account, this would be a great way to do that. You can print this. Once you save it, you can print it out as you please. And if you tap the background, what I'm doing is tapping anywhere in this pink color block, it'll change the color to whatever TikTok has available at the moment. And also, there's a direct option to share your profile in your settings. If you click on it, it's going to give you a prompt at the bottom. You can share your account through your friends on TikTok. As you can see, I sadly have no friends on this TikTok account, so it's not giving me any options. But I can also share it through a message. I can copy the link. Again, I can do through Facebook Messenger, Facebook email, or I can just click on other. So that is all for account. We're getting into content and activity now. I'm going to preface this with majority of the settings part was in content and account. So yeah. So if we go to push notifications, this is where you are going to control what notifications TikTok sends to your account. You can decide if you want to get notifications for your likes, for your comments, for new followers, and for mentions and tags. You can, if you don't want those notifications coming to your phone or to your device, turn these off. If you want messages for direct notifications, leave it on. If you don't, turn it off. And also, what TikTok will do is, if it sees that you follow a certain account and really engage with it, it's going to send you a notification here or there saying, hey, this person posted this video, you should check it out. You can turn that option on or off. And then it will also do the same thing from people that you may know. It doesn't know that you know these people. You could or could not know them, but it may think you know them. Or videos that you just may like based off of the data that TikTok is gathering on the type of content that you like. People are also able to go live on TikTok. We'll really be talking about that next session though. But you can determine if you want to get notifications if people want to go live. And then you can manage those notifications a little more. And what it's going to say is get live notifications from accounts you follow. And since I'm not following anybody, you can't see this, but you can turn on what accounts that you want to get live notifications from and turn that off in this section. And then the last part of this is other people you may know. This is TikTok is asking you, can they send your account out to people that may know you, even though they may not ask you every time to do that. You can do that. I would leave it on just because all it's going to do is give you more reach. But again, that's up to your discretion. And lastly, we have a Christian Thunderbunk who said, at what point can someone make money off of their account? Like, what point will TikTok send a check? What point will TikTok send a check? I really talk a lot about that in the last session. You can find that in the Hustle newsletter. But I'll go into.
Let me interject here. When he's saying in newsletter, we don't send the videos in our newsletter.
Oh, my bad.
We send a follow-up email after each session. So you can find the video on our Facebook page. They're being uploaded to our YouTube page. And as well, we will include it in the update email from today's session. It will include the sessions from the last 3 weeks as well. So he did talk about that last week. So it'll be in there. You're welcome.
Thank you for that. I thought y'all was putting them in the newsletters. Woo.
We already have too much information in that newsletter.
And so the last thing is you can customize your updates and more. So you can, when TikTok gives you updates on your account, like in your email, you can allow them to customize it or not. I don't really pay attention to what TikTok be sending me in emails just because it usually has nothing to do with me. It's more to do with the platform, but you can toggle this on or off. All right, so next we have app language. I suggest everyone pay a little bit of attention to this. In app language, TikTok is going to ask you what is your default language that you are viewing content in. And I've selected English because it's the only language I know. And I suggest you all check your native language, because now TikTok is only primarily going to show you videos in your native language. If you don't have this checked, you probably will be getting videos from a lot of different languages here and there. And to mitigate that, come into app language and check your native language. You have, depending on your device, you may
Wait,
have
wait,
this.
wait, wait. So does that mean, okay, so if I pick English, obviously, right? Because I speak English, but what does that mean? TikTok won't show me a video that's Spanish speaking?
It will really, like, you probably won't see it after you check this English. So yeah.
Hmm,
Mhm.
that's an inclusive practice that I do not like, but okay.
You said you don't like it.
I don't, but okay.
So depending on your device, you may have the option to toggle on dark mode. On iOS devices, I know you all know that you can toggle dark mode on, light mode on. You can manage all of that in dark mode. You can have it mimic your device settings. So whatever setting your device is on, TikTok will mimic that, or you can manually change it from dark to light. And as you can see, I'm toggling back and forth between these two. But I'm just gonna have it mimic my device settings so that everything is consistent across the board for me. Now, let me also say that when you are toggling this is just for you. So if I toggle dark, it's not going to show up dark for you all if you don't have that setting toggled for you all, for your audience, all right? So next we have content preferences. And then again, right here, I believe TikTok is about to add a whole bunch of content or options here. But again, as of right now, all we have is add a language. And you can go through and select your native language again. And that's the language that TikTok will push content out to you in. Next, we have ads right here. Again, I don't think y'all need to be running ads. Us as small business owners, us as brands or just people that are using TikTok. To begin running an ad, you need a TikTok Pro account. And that's when you start getting into the ads land. But if you want to become an ad specialist for TikTok, you can click on this and TikTok will begin sending you surveys here and there to ask you about this. TikTok is not paying you for this, and I don't like to spend time on money on things that are not paying me. So, but if you all want to help TikTok out and answer surveys about their ads, you can do this here. Again, they are not providing you any value for this. And you can also see the ads that you have interacted with in this section. Again, this is not my primary account, so you're not going to see any ads here. Next, we have digital well-being, which I really like this feature of TikTok. We have daily screen time. So you can set a limit to your watch time. I don't know if you all are using TikTok now, but for those who are, we all know that it is very easy to spend hours upon hours upon hours on TikTok. With this feature, you can set a time limit to however long you want, to where TikTok will give you a notification saying, hey, you've reached your screen time limit for right now. Do you want to get off and come back on tomorrow? Do you want to get back on in a couple of hours? I think that's a great feature so that we're not zombies to our phones. But I'm not going to turn it on right now. And also we have restricted mode. Restricted mode limits content that may be inappropriate for some viewers. And if you find an inappropriate video in restricted mode, you can report it and it'll help TikTok's algorithm in filtering this content in the future. Now, when you turn on restricted mode, you do have to create a passcode for it. And if you create this passcode, please remember it, because I've heard that it is very difficult to like get around this password. It's a little more than like them sending a link to your email. I think you have to talk to one of their representatives. So yeah, keep that in mind. But also, if you create a TikTok account, and we talked about this last week, and you state that you are under 18, I believe you will automatically be in restricted mode. Keep that in mind as well. And then we have family pairing. This is just for parents who want to monitor what their kids are doing on TikTok, especially for those who are under 18. They can do that through here. And then we have the accessibility options. TikTok has the feature to show like auto-generated captions. So if I make a TikTok saying, welcome to Marketing Outside the Box this week, TikTok software will like try its best, and it's fairly great at it, at creating captions under the video saying, welcome to Marketing Outside the Box this week. And also, for those of us who are photosensitive, you can toggle this option on right here under remove photosensitive videos, and TikTok will not show you videos that may trigger photosensitive seizures. And also an animated thumbnail. Animated thumbnail is just when you go on somebody's account and you scroll through their content, their videos may move here or there, like it's an animated thumbnail. It may just move back and forth. You can turn that on or off if you like it or don't like it. And so these last couple things are more about your device and on TikTok's backend. You can clear your cache. What cache is your device stores data. So like it's storing thumbnails, it's storing a little bit of information so that every time you open TikTok, it can try to open the app a little faster, it can try to move a little faster. But for that to happen, it has to store that data on your phone. And this number can get really high. Right now, it's only 35 megabytes, but I've seen this take up half of people's storage just from TikTok. So if you are seeing like TikTok is taking a lot of data, come to this clear cache section and just hit it once and it will clear the cache. But let me come back in here. You can also come into Data Saver. For those of you all like who don't want to be using a lot of cellular data on TikTok because streaming video can use a lot of data, you can turn this setting on, and what it'll do is it'll like load lower resolution videos for you, so that you're not using as much data. It won't apply when you're on Wi-Fi though. And then everything else is if you see a problem on TikTok, you can report it here. We have the help center right here. If you need help within anything, TikTok writes articles. They like have a blog to help you get started on TikTok. There's a safety center for TikTok. If you are seeing content that is related to sexual assault, eating disorders, bullying, or like spreading misinformation about the pandemic, you can go to that center and they'll help you out there. Also, you can read all of TikTok's community guidelines, terms of service, privacy policy, and copyright policy. Here, you have access to that at all times. And then I can switch my accounts out if I wanted to, right here by clicking switch account, and I can log out. So that is everything that is in the settings. TikTok has a huge settings section, but and I think I went a little fast through that because I've got a lot of information that I want to relay to you all. But does anyone have any questions about that entire section that I just went through? None whatsoever. All right, all right.
No, there's no questions about the section.
Okay.
I think it's just a lot to take in. We got to go back and watch some of that, but we're good.
That means I did a great job teaching it, y'all. Okay, let me get off my iPad real quick. Just give me about 10 seconds, y'all. And then, yeah. All right, can you all hear me?
Yep.
All right, so now that you all have created your TikTok accounts, now that you all have optimized them for whatever you're doing on TikTok, now we're going into your content planning. Let me share my screen. Everybody can see my screen?
You only have about
like 15 minutes.
Is there still an echo?
Say that again?
Okay, I thought I heard an echo. I was just letting you know you have about 15 minutes to start this part, and then we'll have to close it out during the next session. Okay.
So, in the very first section of this series, we talked about why you should be using TikTok. And so we went through that TikTok is free marketing. You can see, again, great growth on TikTok without spending a dime on it. We talked about audience engagement, how TikTok does a lot of the work with pushing your videos out. So users are really focused on how they engage with the videos. And then TikTok provides a lot of analytical info. But right now, as I am relaying information to you all about how to prepare to, get on TikTok, I am keeping brand awareness as the most important point. There is a structure to go viral on TikTok, but going viral on TikTok does not ultimately result in success for your business, because you can get all of these eyeballs to your page, but what do you do once those eyeballs are there? How do you keep them there? How do you convert them? That is what I'm going to be talking about today. All right. So there's a lot of text on this slide, but this is just, I would say, a section of the entirety of what's going on right here. So the biggest question that you need to ask yourself is, who are you trying to reach on TikTok and why? So now, for those of you all who do not know, I'm getting to you all in a second. But for those of us who do know, this is my business. This is who I'm trying to reach. I have a general idea. or this is who I would like to reach. I want you to really ask, why are you trying to reach them? And get every little bit of information that you can about these people. And when I say get every little bit of information, really make great assumptions by asking these questions. What age range are they a part of? What gender are they? When does this group work? What problems do they have? What interests do they have? What do they hate? What do they love? What area did they grow up in? Where did they get their information from? The reason that you need to ask yourself these questions is because this is going to determine your posting strategy on TikTok. So for example, if I know my demographic is working mothers, I know I'm not going to post a video at 10 a.m. because I know that they're going to be at work. If I know my demographic is students, I may post my videos at high school students. I may post my videos at 4 or 5 o'clock because I know that they're getting out of school and I know that they're all going to be on their phones. That's going to help optimize my account and it's going to help me see growth better. And then what value are you providing to your audience? So like what reward is your audience getting by watching your videos? I really want you to ask yourself that question, because if you cannot give yourself an answer, then most people are probably not going to watch your videos. You don't want to be salesy on TikTok. You want to give them some treat for watching your videos. And then after you get those questions answered, I really want you to ask yourself, how does the content that you're creating differ from the content of others? It does not have to be drastically different, but again, there are, like we said in the first session, just about 1 billion active monthly users on TikTok. And a lot of these TikTok accounts are creating content. How can you stand out within this sea of content that is being uploaded? Okay, Ben. You said treats like prizes. What do you mean?
You said you want to give them some type of treat.
Yes.
So you're saying give them like prizes, or you're just saying your video need to be?
No, your video needs to like be like, oh, like I gained something from watching that. I gained a laugh. I found out some information. I got to engage with somebody in the comment section. Like that's their prize for watching your video. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I just didn't know if you meant like how Instagram and Facebook, like people literally do giveaways. So I was just getting that clarity. Thank you.
Let me come back over here. So for those of us who do not know who the audience is, I've worked with people that they started from ground zero. They were just freshly new into their business. They didn't know who their audience was. Listen to the new faces that are coming to your account. And what I mean by this is, if you don't know who your audience could be, I recommend that you begin creating the content for TikTok. And wherever your videos are doing the best, take that data from, take that analytical data and really map out who is viewing your video. So TikTok will tell you what gender is viewing your videos. They will tell you what countries are viewing your videos. They will tell you what time people are viewing your videos. Really take this data and make assumptions and then begin to build on that data. So if I'm posting for about 2 weeks and I see that my most active time is 8 p.m., it's probably best to begin posting around 6 to 7 p.m. so that your videos are closer to that 8 p.m. time. Or you may just post at the 8 p.m. time. But do not, if you're seeing that the data is saying one thing, do not go and post at 12 p.m. if you know your most active time is at 8 p.m. So this is what I mean by listening to the new faces.
Does TikTok let you schedule posts?
Only with a business account.
Got it.
And so as of right now, I think TikTok has beef with a lot of the social media management platforms, because there is, as of right now, no platform that allows TikTok videos to be automated out through a third-party platform. So keep that in mind. That's a great question. So I'm going to, let me see, come out of this real quick because I have a few examples to show you all. So there are different content types for TikTok, right? And what I mean by that is like there's the regular video of you showcasing your business, or you can get a little creative with it. The first option that we have.
Oh, go ahead.
The first example that we have here is the window into consultation. And so what this usually looks like is two people, one person playing two people, and one can be the real estate agent, one can be the person who's looking for a house. And in the video, the purpose of the video is the real estate agent is relaying information to the person trying to buy a house. And as they're getting this information, they tag themselves at the end as the expert on this topic. And I'm going to show you an example of that right here. Bam, bam. Couldn't find this account. Let me search this man up, y'all. Here we go. You all can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Here we go.
I'll pay that 5K.
Can you all hear my audio?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a great example of what I was just telling you about as well.
I'll pay that 5K deposit on my credit card, please. You're getting 5K into debt. Is that a good idea? I'm not getting into debt. I'm just using my credit card. Yeah, because that makes sense. You do realize credit cards are the safest way to pay, right? Hey, I bought something online and I think I might have been scammed. Well, how did you pay, sir? I used my debit card, of course. Sorry, sir, this transaction doesn't qualify for a refund. Damn! I should have followed Mark Tilbury. I'll pay that.
So as we can see, there's an interaction between the two people. He's playing both characters, but at the end, he's showcasing himself as the expert within this financial landscape and tags himself at the end saying, I should have followed this person. And so you got your hand raised, Magali.
I just have a quick question.
What's up?
TikTok has templates to let you do that, or you have to literally, I don't really know what I'm trying to ask. Does my direction of my question make sense?
I know what you're saying. You're saying like if you go to make a video, are there different templates that TikTok will prompt you through to follow this? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because you said this is called the window in something, right? So like on TikTok, is there a window in something that people choose from?
No.
So they would just have to go through the steps of manually creating this video.
Right.
Ooh, next week might be more technical than you planned then. Okay.
But and most of his videos are like that. As you can see, he's playing all these different characters, but he's gotten hundreds of thousands of views on his profile, and it's only been up for about 2 years. So that's a really great way. Let me come back to this session. Let's stop sharing my screen. That's a really great way to highlight what you do, and then also create a demand for yourself and tag yourself as the expert to those who are viewing your videos. The next one we have is the speaking to specifics. And so what this means is, this is an account that is dedicated to creating content for like a group of people with very specific characteristics. So this goes a little deeper than your target audience. And so I'm going to show you a video right now. This guy, he talks to, specifically creates content only for freelancers, like new freelancers. Let me put it right here and not up there. Bam.
This is our last round of revisions and they want to change everything. Did you have a pre-production period where they signed off on scope and assets? Yeah, and they didn't mention any of this stuff in the first round. Just type this. This is more of an overhaul than a revision round, since we'll be redeveloping many of the assets that had been approved. We can definitely rework this. However, there will be some schedule and budget implications. Sent. This is our last round of revisions and they want to change it.
And so I'll show you one more.
Let's hear your
just so you
pitch.
can see.
Well, before I can really pitch anything, I need to know what mission success looks like here. What's your perfect outcome? Well, so far, no one's asked us that yet. So you've got my attention. Let's hear.
So what this guy has done is he's come and said, okay, I want to make content for freelancers, but it's gone a little further into that and said, I want to create content for freelancers who may be new to what they do and may not know all of the ins and outs of freelancing. And so he's speaking to a very specific set of people and has garnered 171,000 followers and is getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views on his videos. And I would say 98% of this man's videos follow this one concept, or this one, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. They follow this style of video. That's what it is. I'm seeing 2 comments up in here. Oh yes, like Magali said, they are only being recorded on their phones. This is no fancy camera equipment. When I'm recording with people, we literally just use an iPhone. It's not even the latest iPhone. You don't even have to have lighting all the time. You can adjust that within TikTok as you edit the video. So yeah, don't think that you have to have a huge production budget for this. Again, like I said, this is free marketing. Most of us have phones. We can record a video. We just have to think of what content we have to make. The next one that I'm going to get into is the customer story experience. And so what this does is it's a great way to showcase your business and brand, how you interact with your customers and our clients, and to tell interesting stories. People love to hear a good story. And this is also referred to the story behind the sale. And this is what I'm about to show you right now, a great example of somebody following this style of content.
For rock climbing, of course I can, let's do it. Now, all rock climbers seem to make a massive mistake over and over again when it comes to picking their supplements, and it always ends up being so detrimental to your performance. Now, this kid named Jai comes in and he asks for some supplements for exactly this, for performance in rock climbing. So we went through a bunch of different stuff, but the key thing that we weren't doing, and please listen to this, we weren't giving him ingredients that were going to increase his blood flow, because increased blood flow leads to a pump in the forearms. And rock climbers will know that when you have a big pump in your forearms, you lose that fine motor skill, which is going to kill your performance. So stay away from anything blood flow related, but things like caffeine, beta alanine, and even magnesium can be super beneficial. Hey.
So within this video right here, and again, this man uses this account uses this style for all of their videos. They are just packing up their orders and telling stories about how they interact with people. I mean, what this does to the audience is it shows them, okay, this is what I should anticipate when I'm communicating with this person. You get to see the packaging and you get to like hear the person that is behind the camera. That is great for those who are viewing things on TikTok, because they really like to know who is behind the camera. And it gives you a chance to insert like how your brand operates within the world. And then I'm going to show you one last one, just because we only have 3 minutes left. And then I'll stay a few minutes just to take any questions. This last different content type or style is a time lapse. And so it's a great way of providing quick, fast-paced entertainment to your viewers. And it also allows you to use the voiceover feature to input any commentary that you want on these videos. And so we're going to use a pressure washing company. Whoever thought a pressure washing company would be huge on TikTok. They have like 1.6 million followers. And all he does is
Castaways. We are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy. We are castaways.
So yes, this is all this man's content.
I spilled some paint on a deck I just washed. That's that. Pressure washing would not remove this.
So yes, he's just showing his process. I mean, as you can see, this video is still playing, but he's just literally showcasing his process through a time lapse. It's very quick. And yeah, he's wherever you can, he's inserting information about his business or about what's going on in the video. And you know, it's something quick for people to see about your business. I'm going to stop right here just so that I'm not running over.
So you have one question in the chat. Does it make sense to do a little of each of these styles?
I would say right now, for where TikTok is at now, no, because once your audience gets accustomed to a certain style of content, that's really what they like to see. And when you do a really big shift or change in your content style, it could really mess up how your algorithm is treating your content, and your viewers may not expect that from you, and it could just really throw a lot of things off. So I would say no.
Any other questions for Mendez right now before we close out this week and get prepared for next week? So okay, there is a question. So if you are new, how do you decide on your style of content?
So as I was saying in the beginning of this portion of the session, honestly, truly, it's just going to be trial and error. You're going to have to decide, like, what do I want to showcase on TikTok, and try different methods, and you're going to have to see what's sticking at the wall. But one thing that you can do if you're on other social media platforms is you can take the success that you're seeing maybe on Instagram or Facebook and apply that to TikTok in video form. But if you're very new to social media, it's going to take you a little longer to get the ball rolling, because you're going to have to figure out what's sticking, what people want to see, and what they don't want to see. The best thing, or the best piece of advice that I could give you within that is staying consistent. So even though you may not be seeing video views like hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of video views right off the bat, stay consistent in trying out things, and something's going to stick. Something is going to stick. I can almost guarantee that for you.
And just remember what he said during that portion as well. TikTok is literally gathering the data for you to tell you while you're throwing things at the wall. It's telling you this one really caught a lot of people of attention. So you might want to try that one again and see if it caught people's attention. And then you might figure out your style based off of what Mendez is saying. I'm gonna pause for a moment because I know we're right at 1:30. So if you have to leave, I definitely understand. We will send today's presentation as well as the first 3 weeks and the videos that come along with each of them. And we will see you same time, same place next week. If you can stick around and have a few more questions, I think Mendez said he'll stick around for a little bit, and I don't have another meeting until 1:45. So I'm at least going to stick around till 1:40 before I end the Zoom. And what I want to say, in case you cannot make it next week, which closes out this session, this series for this month, one of the key things that I think I picked up from beginning to end at this point as it relates to TikTok is you're going to get on that platform and you have to be authentic, even as a business. So just get accustomed to whatever your brand is going to be. It needs to be you speaking, showing people, like he showed the example of people just boxing up product and talking, having a conversation. So it's like talking to your sibling or your parent or your neighbor or your friend. Think about it that way on TikTok and don't make it too hard. I just wanted to say that in case you can't make it next week. Kim, I see that you have a question.
I do. So I'm sorry. So I'm at Flywheel and I'm trying to listen and it got super loud and I missed so much stuff. But my question is, in regards to, like, I was in the settings messing around trying to follow you, the age thing, should you put, and you may have said this, so I apologize. Should you put the date of birth? I feel like that's going to skew my reach and maybe I'm overthinking that. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think the age that you put in is going to skew your reach. I mean, it's up to you if you want to put your real birthday or your fake birthday. Nobody can access that information, but as long as you're not putting anything under 18, you should be fine. Experience any restrictions right off the jump from TikTok.
Yeah. So what I wanted to add to that is just don't put your business age because it's a personal account. So if your business been in existence for 2 years, don't put that because TikTok is going to read that from a personal account as you are a 2-year-old. It's going to limit a lot of things to you. So I think I leave whatever default systems create for me most times because they create a default birthday and I'm like, sure. If that's what you want to do, sure. Brandon has a question about Mendez, and I think you're talking about some of this next week, but just in case, any resources for video creation tips or ideas, like editing apps outside of TikTok?
So let me write down a note because I can send you a resource that I got for creating videos, but for editing apps outside of TikTok, you can use, I mean, it does cost, you can use Premiere Pro, you can use Final Cut Pro. It's an app solely for Macs. You can use, depending on the type of content, you could use iMovie. iMovie is free. It's only for iOS devices though, or Apple devices. You could use that. But TikTok's native editing feature will do the job for most people.
This reminds Mendez, well, one, all of the things you just named, even though you said it in the recording, when you send us the update to send out, can you just list some of those resources in case people can't make it next week? And then, what'd he say?
I'll write this down real quick.
Oh, okay. And then the second thing I wanted to point out to you, and we'll just make sure that we talk a little bit about this next week. There was a question, she's no longer here. There was a question about TikToks and Shopify, that function. So we don't have to talk about it now, but I definitely want us to touch on it next week, even if we just spend 2 minutes on it to address that. We don't have to send it in the update. So we'll make sure that we include that in part of the presentation next week. Shannon, you have a question.
Hi, yes, a question. I'm looking in my analytics, trying to gauge some of the features you told us to look at to hone in on that target market, who's watching us, when they're watching us. And like when I look at my I had a business account from one of my business accounts, and I just literally doing this, just changed it over to back to a personal account, which I said earlier was literally last week was trying to figure out should I do. So thank you for the information because that was right on time. But I don't see in here where it talks about who in the times. Like it just tells me like the section, like my for you or who's the following percentages in the regions, but it doesn't go into male or female or age groups or whatnot like that. So I can kind of gauge that in the times that they're watching, excuse me, so I can hone more in on those portions of my content.
And you're saying that you just recently switched back. You just switched back to a personal account from a business account, right?
While you were talking, yes, sir.
So there's a longer process that you have to go through to get those analytics as a business account. That's again one of the reasons why I don't think you were here last week. That's one of the reasons why advise strongly against going with a business account. I mean, Nia can tell you I made that mistake one time and we lost data for like a couple of days.
Okay.
Just because like there's a longer process, just the process that you have to go through that. There's a lot of restrictions with a business account.
Yeah, I learned.
But as you continue posting, if you're active, since you've switched back to a personal account, as TikTok continues to collect data, you'll be now seeing the data that gives you gender, that gives you most active time, gives you the country that they're coming from, all of those things. How long they're staying on video.
So just be patient and just keep doing what I'm doing. Got
Correct.
it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Mendez, I sent you the DM of that question that I mentioned, just so that you don't, if you wanted to copy and paste it for your notes that I mentioned earlier.
I can write it down. I can, do you know who sent it or was that from Facebook?
It was Kristen Funderburg, but I think more people would want to know the answer. So I think it's fine for us to touch on it in general next week.
Okay.
So any other questions for Mendez today before we head out? Awesome. Well, Kim, I don't know what part of Flywheel you're at right now, but you should be able to find a quiet room.
I'm in Concord, but I'm a grant winner for the retail lab. So now I'm in the retail lab, which is why it's quieter. Like I was in the, it's lunchtime, so people are hitting up the little area in there where they serve food. So it just got super loud really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure you get the recording. All right,
Got it. Thank
everyone.
you.
Well, enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Mendez will get that information to us and we will get that information over to you all, and we will see y'all same time, same place next week. And I'll also tell you what we're talking about in the month of April next week. All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Facebook. I forgot Facebook was hanging out with us too.
Not by Facebook. Bye, y'all.
Bye.